Hi, welcome to Irish Outlaw Garage. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. I got up for work the other morning and found out that I was off, and I thought, well, I'll go out and, maybe I'll clean out my semi, do a few other things around the house. And I walked out to my semi, and it looked like, a leprechaun or an alien or something decided to take a piss all over the bottom of my truck on the ground. And a lot of it is gone now because now it's cold as hell and it ain't raining or snowing like it has been in November, which is Illinois. Anyway, yeah, a lot happened. A lot happened while I was taking a little bit of a break from filming anything or doing anything. Like, if you look right back there, that would be a blue 1974 Javelin on a trailer. That's great. It's neat. Yeah, that's a whole nother thing. Anyway, let's show you what I got going on the semi. So you notice that this is all wet, and excuse me, you can see how the antifreeze has literally sucked into the ground, which it's recycling. Didn't even know it could do that, but you can see it all underneath. And yeah, caught a nasty cold. But right here it was a steady drip, not even really a drip, looked like somebody had turned a faucet on. And this truck is plugged in. I've got clock heaters, I've got all kinds of stuff, and it's working. It is working, but unfortunately right here, this little housing right here that comes off of the water pump, this is a Caterpillar 3406E model. There's a difference. And this little housing comes up, and there is a, right here, this little like coupler that's in between. You can see him in the housing. You can kind of make out that edge there. See how it's crooked? That's because there's two O-rings on each side of that, and there's one that goes in your, this is an oil cooler. Oil circulates through here along with the cooled water from the water pump to cool your engine oil. Well, these two little O-rings in here decided to, they don't want to hold water no more when it gets cold. They shrink and expand when it gets warm. As soon as you start it up, it quits leaking. Give it a little time. But I had replaced this last year, and when these go out, it's fun because it fills the entire cooling system full of oil, and sometimes water in your oil. But I had to flush all this out, put this in. I actually put like 2 huge bottles of Dawn dish soap with water about 7 times, run it, circulate it, drop it out, run it, circulate it, drop it out. It's a whole mess. I didn't film back then, so I don't have any footage of it. You just have to trust me. But anyway, what I have to do is I have to take these 2 9/16 bolts out of this housing, and this is separate from everything else, and this housing will pop out. And then I can take this little coupler here, and I can take the old whatchamacallits off of it, the O-rings, which are $35 for 2, that's friggin' great. But and I can clean this housing up, clean this up, and then I'll put new seals on it, grease them up with just axle grease or something, shove them back in there, tighten it back up, and then I got to refill the whole system. The whole system holds about 12 gallons. Depends on your radiator. It's like 9 to 12, and this one takes 12. So yeah, I've got 12 gallons of premix. I usually don't do that, but I'm way the hell away from the house, and I don't want to keep running back and forth to get distilled water, because that's, or any kind of water. Actually, what I've been doing is my pool's right there. Every morning when I get up, I just go get some water and put it in here. Well, now it's too cold, I can't do that. Damn it, it's cold. I hate cold. I hate fall. I hate it all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this apart. I'll try to show as much of it as I can. I've done this more times than I can count, not only on my own trucks, but you know, I used to work on trucks. I've said it, I think I've said people before, I was ASE certified and I was a diesel truck technician. I just don't like doing it for pay anymore. I like doing it on my own. Well, unfortunately I own a damn truck, so I gotta, you know, I have to do it, or I have to send it to somebody. A couple other things I got to do this thing. I got to winterize the air tanks. You know, I got new steer tires coming because, you know, these things are, they're shot. They're shot. This one ain't near as bad as the other one. This one here is gone. But these, you know, I put these things through hell. There's a bunch of flat spots in different places on them that are just junk. A few other things I need to look at on this is my power steering pump is leaking, and I put stuff in it to make it stop leaking, and it gives the appearance that it quit leaking, but it didn't quit leaking. So now, instead of leaking it out the pump, it's leaking it into the oil. But luckily I use engine oil, so you know, I use engine oil and a few other additives, so it's good. This thing needs washed really bad. What I do is I work in dirt. I'm hauling dirt with my Cora's Predator trailer. This is top of the line, best trailer you can actually get on the market, in my opinion, unless you go to a belt trailer, but then you're limited. I bought this trailer 2 years ago, and it has absolutely never let me down except for some airlines. But you know, this is a construction trailer. Things get beat up like really bad. I got the Lazy Man auto tarp. This thing is fully insulated for asphalt. You can kind of see it's all that spray on hardening insulation, and this thing you rarely get any kind of asphalt stuck in it. Here recently I haven't done a lot of asphalt because I've been doing all this dirt work, but you know, you keep them greased up, these things will last forever. The bushings, everything, they're great trailers made right here in Illinois, believe it or not. Here recently I had to replace all my airlines because, you know, they were worn out. I think the other ones were from like 1999. But I think that's it. We just need to get this thing going. I got some wiring issues, but I hate chicken lights, by the way. None of these work, and I don't care. Don't care. This thing's a work truck. It is not a show. Now, it is a, you know, when it's cleaned up, it's pretty though. You know, it's got that stainless steel siding trailer and ridiculous stacks and all that stuff, but you know, I just it's a work truck to me. I'm not here to show, I'm here to work. So I got the dogs barking on me and everything else. Give me a second. Dixie Lee thinks that we're leaving in the truck. She goes with me. So all right, let's get to work. I need to pull this thing apart, and I need to recycle what's left in the truck. So this should be good. I don't know if this will fit in there or not. Of course it won't. Maybe we can get one of them going. There's one. Might have to get a wrench. This is actually a pretty simple process. Just pain in the ass, especially when it's cold. Let me get a wrench. A little snug. Probably can't see shit because the sunlight's like right in your eyes. I'll try to dim that down. Somehow I doubt it. Probably. Well, by the way, O'Reilly's, I'm sure other parts will have it, started selling these gloves that are like super thin and they're grippy. Now, I'm not one to use bitch mittens a lot, but it's cold out, and these actually work pretty good. They saved my hands when I was putting that transmission in Blanche. But, you know, and I apologize if I cough a lot. I'm freaking fighting cold, and I had this pink eye looking shit. Good Lord. Like I'm falling apart. But it is what it is. It's that time of year. Can't wait for summertime. I got cars to build. I'm gonna have to get this done, and now I gotta figure out what's wrong with my damn javelin. Time to recycle some antifreeze, y'all. Just like that. Oh, looky. It's steaming. Now you want to be hot. Some bitch. Ah. Oh. No, I know that. Yeah, there we go. All right. Oh, yeah. Them things are worn out. Give me 1 second. So, what we got here is this housing has an O-ring too. I forgot about that. I may need to there's still some junk in there. I may need to go get that O-ring also. But either that, or I may just put some silicone around this edge. But basically this part hooks up to your water pump on your Caterpillar. Then this comes out, and this little flange, which I'm probably gonna have to beat out of there. I don't know. They're a pain in the ass is what they are. Nope, there it's coming. And it was leaking right here. So it wasn't the O-ring side that goes into your oil cooler. It was actually the side that goes into the housing, which is usually what happens, because this is cast and it gets worn out, and you know, and it looked like it had shifted. So there we go, she's out. See there, the O-ring has it was leaking on this end, and you can see it where it was coming right through. But no, housing looks good. It's not cracked or anything. So I can clean that up, and then all I gotta do is clean up this too, and we'll put her back together. I'll go do that on my whirly-woo in the garage, and I'll get back with you, but I'll have to bring something out here because I gotta clean that housing and that oil cooler. Yeah, it's an easy fix, but it's luckily I just let it all drain out. Most of it went away, but now I can show you that it looks like a leprechaun took piss underneath my truck. Irish. You know, Irish. To the garage. Shop. Apologize for the noise. That's the heater. I'm old. They can start to hurt after a while. I've never really showed me working on my semi or anything other than little shorts of doing stuff, but I didn't really think it was all that interesting, but something in my mind tells me I should put everything out, which is fine. But last night I was so mad about my javelin that I didn't film nothing of me going to pick it up, or I mean, I'm gonna film a bunch of stuff on what went wrong with it. I'm pretty sure I know what went wrong with it, but these are just things that I didn't know if anybody would like. Here I am, cold outside, my day off. Instead of working on cars, I gotta work on what makes me money. So let's get these Let's get these old O-rings off, and they are flattened out. I don't know why. Oh man. Yeah, that side all flattened out. That's the side that was leaking. This side was in the oil cooler, so it wasn't leaking. It is flat the way it should be all the way around. So this one was good. This one's got round spots and flat spots. So you know what that is? That's me not doing it right. That's what happened. Something messed up. So here we go. Yeah, get this good and clean. And then what you do is you take some grease, you get your O-rings, and you cover them with grease, stick them back in there, and then we'll get to that. This damn thing. The rest of it I got to do with this because I can't get it down inside these little holes or these ridges. Oh yeah. That is a lot of old, crappy antifreeze stuck in there. Yeah, get it. It's kind of concerning though that I just did this like a year ago. And there's that much crud in here already. I need to find better additives. That's not good. All right. There we go. I think I am going to use some a little bit of RTV on this. That concerns me. Right there. I don't know if the light shows it, but there's pitting all up inside there. Here. See all that pitting on that ridge right there? Goes all the way around. That's not good. But good luck finding one of these. So I can still feel that in there. Again, clean up my goddamn shop. Got no time. Yep. I'm gonna do something I normally won't do on this. I'm gonna put RTV on it because that's, I may have to start looking for a new housing. I'll put a little bit of RTV on this too, just around the edges of that O-ring, make sure it doesn't, you know. I mean, this is a whole gasket. It's not just the O-ring that sits in. There's two pieces here, so, and it's sealed good. So I'll probably just throw, yeah, I'll just throw some RTV on it. Call her good. I don't really have a choice in the matter. Well, let me get my gloves back on. And again, if you find this boring, I'm sorry. I just thought, why not? You know? I'm not in any big hurry. I don't work till tomorrow. Just about went back to hauling flake. Freight's gonna wait a little bit longer. Alrighty. Man, I hate to use RTV on that because the idea behind this is this sits in there and it can move with the fluctuation of the motor, like, you know, with the expand and contrast. I guess is that the right word for it? When it's cool and hot, this thing moves. It has the O-ring and it can, like, you know, do what it needs to do. And if I put silicone on it, it can't do what it needs to do because it's gonna lock it in place. So no. Talk myself in and out of it all at the same time. Grease. Let's get back to the back. I know there's a lot of other things I could have been doing besides truck driving. I said I went to college, worked on cars most of my life, played music most of my life. Had some pretty good chances I could have taken playing music. The honest answer of why I didn't do that is I love my kids. My oldest one, he's 26 now, 27, something like that, I don't know. I couldn't leave him. But what they wanted me to do, I couldn't bring myself to do, you know. I just ain't built like that. I more love my kids than I do my music or my cars or anything. Matter of fact, if it come down to, hey, you're gonna lose your kids if you don't stop working on cars and playing music, guess what? I'm a hermit, pretty much. So it is what it is. What happened was I was working on trucks and I had all this money and tools. Like you mechanics, you know, okay? You had to have specific tools, big tools, small tools, anything and everything you think of. And I was paying out the ass in all these tools, and I had to get reschooled on stuff and different things. Cost me a fortune. One day a guy come in and says, Jay, why aren't you just driving them? Because I've been driving them illegally for years. You know, because I was working on them, I'd take off. And one of the companies I worked for, they had a guy that decided that he wasn't going to show up that day. I'd hop in the truck and I'd take it. I always liked truck driving. I mean, I'm smoking the Bandit, you know, convoy era. That's me. I'm Gen X from the 70s. So I thought, why not? So I called a buddy of mine. He let me borrow a truck and a trailer, and I went up and got my license. That was, you know, I literally drove it up there, and they're like, well, who brought you here? Oh, he left. So, and I already had my Class Bs, so I ran garbage trucks for years. And I started working for an old boy. I worked for a big company for a while, went all over the United States on the east side and south. And it got to a point where my ex-wife at the time, she says, I don't know why, you know, she was having trouble with my oldest. And she said, you're never here anyway. I don't know how I'm supposed to deal with him. You're never here anyway. It ain't like I can ask you for advice. And that hit me. Again, it's about my kids. And I put my 2 weeks notice in for that company that day. Well, the next day, and then I decided to go. I went to work for a farmer, hauling grain, rock, stuff like that, where I was home every night. It was a hell of a money hit. And I did that for a couple years, and then Christmas Eve, I did some runs, and I come in, and he says, Jay, this is you know, I got to let you go. So on Christmas Eve, 2009, he said, I got to let you go. That was my Christmas gift from my former boss, the last boss I had. I was so angry. I left. I went straight to a buddy of mine's house, so I knew he had a truck for sale, and I bought a truck. And in the next week, I put everything together I need to get together. I rented a trailer. I was broke as shit, and I couldn't afford a trailer, so I rented a trailer, and I took every goddamn job that farmer had because I found them all, and he was pissed, and I said, I don't care. Christmas Eve, the reason he fired me, this is how people are. I ain't got nothing against farmers, but what I was making was right where it needed to be. But he fired me so he could put his $11 an hour farmhand in that truck to do the same thing I did. It was kind of funny when he didn't have no goddamn work for his truck after I got through with it. I got called everything but a white man, went after me about anything and everything he could. But I prevailed. And it has its ups and downs, you know. Shit happens. Every one of these tires now, because of inflation, is $500. I got 2 tires coming. That's $1,000 plus installation. Then I got 4 more that are coming that'll be here Friday, and those are drive tires. They're probably about $425 a piece. You got to watch what you use too, because you could put some cheap $250, $300 tire on there and it only lasts you 6 months. You got to be real careful. It's best to spend the money the way it is. But anyway, that's enough of me ranting and being a stupid idiot, because it's just a lazy day for me. Let's get this thing back together, huh? All right. Okay, so I got the housing all cleaned up. Get me a couple rags ready here. It gets greasy and I don't want grease all over me. These are the O-rings that go over this housing. You know, right on top of there, and then they shove it in there. The problem is these do have these cat O-rings do have, it's kind of like a sealant. That's what that orange is on the outside of the line. It's black underneath there if you use to cut it open. And that helps seal it. But the problem is getting them in there without causing, you know, any damage to them, because one little bit of damage and you're done. So the idea is you take some kind of grease or some high temp wheel bearing grease, whatever. I'll take one of them here, get my fingers full of it. Just, you know, just like if we were doing anything else, just get some grease on it. No big deal. And this is the old school way of doing shit, I know. And then you just slide it on there. There's one. Let's do the other one. Just like that. Make sure you get it all over it. No big deal. Like that. Take a little bit more. Grease helps get it in there and slide it in there good. Just like so. And that's that. Oh, that's good. I got leaves in my grease. Let's clean up my hands. Warming up a little bit. Sun's nice and bright. This is kind of just a different video, ain't it? I'm just not really joking around, not really anything, because I hate working on my work. Does that make sense? Yep. This is just how it goes. She really needs a bath, like bad. but I work in dirt every day and I go back to dirt. So once you got her washed, the problem is washing it ain't only for pretty. I don't wash it for it to be pretty. I wash it for maintenance, because the less you wash it, the more crap can get in your bearings and seals. And a bearing and seal in one of these is a whole lot more expensive than a bearing and seal in a car. It takes a whole lot more time to fix. And right now, parts you can't, it's impossible. Parts are impossible right now for a semi. I've had a broken speedometer for months. It'll tell you how fast you're going, but it won't catch your miles. So I always have to do it with like Google Maps or something to calculate my mileage. Pain in the ass. Anyway, let's get this in here. Yeah, I'm sorry about it's dark, but this is how this goes. You get this all nice and greasy. You're gonna put this in here first, if it'll go. Make sure it goes in nice and pops in just like that. There you go. Now, this is gonna be harder to show, but yeah, that's how that goes. Let's see if we can get this in here. Now this is kind of a bear, and I'm going to try to show you as much as I can. I got to try to get this in here without getting it dirty, which is almost goddamn impossible because of all the dirt and dust and shit. Oh, no, that ain't going to work. I apologize, camera angle sucks. There ain't really a good way to do this. Get in there, you son of a bitch. Okay, so she's lined. Now, whoa. Get in there. Well, what'd I do with my damn stay? Boom. She's in. It's like that. Okay. Oh, damn it. Pulled it out too far. Dang it. So, this is the bitch. It has to line up. I think I may have that in too far. This is why the grease is a good idea. Yep, I got that in there too far. I'm gonna have to pull it out. See, that grease just saved that sealer. All right, hold on. Let me sneak this out a little bit. Much as I like to do it the other way, this one here is gonna fight me a little bit, so we're gonna put it in this way. I'll put this in here first, if I can get it in there. Oh, there's one. There's the other. There we go. Now, let me wash my hands, get my hands cleaned up so I can grab. Shit, why wouldn't I have done that this way before? I'm thinking something told me it doesn't work this way. Something told me it doesn't work this way. But, I'm gonna give it the old best shot. If I remember right, I may have tried it this way. Yeah, I know why. Because of that goddamn... Oh, no, it went around it. Cool. Come on, damn it. Get in there. There it went. Okay. So now let's get the bolts in there. But we're not going to tighten it up yet. We'll pull this out so the bolts go in. And I know that probably angle is crap, but there ain't really any good way to do this and show it. Unless I had like one of them specialty cameras, little fucking spy camera things. And honestly, I don't care that much. Okay, so let me get my wrench. Got that sucker started, and it's crooked, which is fine. I love working with wrenches, except when they fall into antifreeze. That's nice. Okay, there's one freshly started bolt. I'm gonna have to block the camera, do the other one. So, battery went dead, but I did get it lined up, but I didn't want to, you know, go any further without showing you guys. But after it's in there, you got to kind of go around and set this thing as good as you can get it as far as centering. I mean, I'm sure there's a special way to do this shit, but I just don't. I have no clue. I haven't done one in a shop for a long time, but that's why the grease is in here, because it helps me move this. This little screwdriver ain't big enough. Right there. There we go. Just like that. Because it is going to move. There ain't no doubt about it. It will move. But, well, I needed another damn screwdriver, actually. Let's try to open this up enough to get it. There we go. And we'll just take this. That ain't agreeing with me. It's not agreeing. I said move your ass. There you go. Told you. Anyway, let's see if I can get this bottom one. That'll line up the top one. Boom. Let's try. Hold on a minute. Well, you put it on there. Boom. There we go. Now we're talking. We need to get this. Again, camera angle. I know. That is dang near right on the money. It's gonna move anyway, but at least that's a good starting point, I think, anyway. Okay, tighten her up. Then the fun part, putting a whole bunch of antifreeze in, right? Right. That's that. I know that this one don't fit. Oh, it does. All right. But I don't trust these fucking Milwaukees, so a little bit of hand tightening too. There we go. In. So, see how it's nice and even till it gets to the top, but I needed this to, may have to move that bottom a little bit more. The thing is, like I said, this thing's meant to kind of fluctuate with heat. So, hopefully it'll hold this time. You never know, that housing's got a lot of pitting in it. We'll see. I don't know, I may have to look for a new housing, but let's get some antifreeze in her, see what she does. So I don't know. I know this thing takes about 9 to 12. I'm pretty sure it was closer to 12 last time I did this. But normally I would use my own conventional green and just, you know, I'd mix it myself. But I'm so far away from water source, I don't want a deal. I got this for a deal from O'Reilly's. They always treat me very, very good. Price matching and all that crap. I think this was like price matching. It was about $6.90 or $7 something a gallon. Hey, just load her down. There's still oil in this damn thing from when it blew that oil. That shit never goes out. I mean, it made a hell of a mess. It's still right here. I need to put a filter on it again because I took the filter off because it kept plugging it. Like literally it'd plug it in 5 minutes. But like I can show you. I'll just run my fingers right here. Look at that. I don't know how well you can see that, but the whole inside of the motor cooling system is like that. Nasty. Well, see no drippy drip. Yeah. I know, everybody thinks I'm imitating somebody. I do that. I was raised with horses and cows and pigs. Said that shit all the time. But whatever. Well, there's 6. And I know there was some left in here. She's popping and fizzing. Let that sit for a little while. Well, there's 7. That's 8, and that sucker's right at the top. So 9's right there, and I got 3 more. We got to start it yet. Get some. Nope. So I'll just leave that up there and let's give her a start, huh? It's that time. All right, let me get down. Hey! My extra key because I forgot mine. This truck is filthy. Make sure she's neutralis. Oh, I'll make sure heat's running. Blah blah blah. Well, she'd only get up to about 160 degrees at high idle. and I was able to get almost 8, and then I put the extras I got, I put them under the bunk. That way when I get going tomorrow, I can stop by halfway through the day and just keep an eye on the temperature, see if she leaks anywhere. But there ain't no leaks. I mean, she's been running a while. Haven't found anything anyway. That's not to say it won't leak a little bit, but right there, that was just pouring out of there. Right on that line. You can kind of see the remnants right there. And, you know, that's all from me recycling. But everything seems to be okay. Checked all my stuff, and I think we're good to go. Good to go for now. See what else this thing wants to pull out on me, but you know, it is what it is. And she didn't slow down one bit. It's my neighbor. Good people. You know, it's trucking is a hard road to do, but if you do it right, which I don't, it's not so bad. But got a guy coming to put some steer tires on it, and then this weekend it's getting some new drives, because these are new. There's $2,500 ish, and then these are getting worn down to nothing. So got a new set of these, you know, 4 of them. I gotta get me some another hanger on this side for a mud flap. It's missing. DOT rule is if you're gonna go anywhere without a trailer, you got to have mud flaps. Well, this thing never comes off, so you know, it never comes off, so I ain't worried about it. Hey, Dixie Lee in store. What's up, buddy? But yeah, it's a life. I'll just say that it's a life. Need to start working on this, but that's a whole other story. So anyway, that's gonna do it for this little, I don't know, maintenancing on my truck. I said I don't normally film doing this because I don't like working on my work. Once I get out of this thing, I don't want anything to do with it. That's honestly where I'm at. I've been literally working since I was 10 years old. Made $1 an hour is what I started at, and I'm 47. So 37 years of my life have been at a job, except for when I was at school. So, you know, I just don't want to deal. I do what I have to do. You have to get it done. This truck has to keep rolling. These tires stop spinning. We don't eat. That's how it works. So anyway, that's going to do it for this one. Stay tuned for a lot on that square body next to this truck. And poor Javi didn't want to run no more on me yesterday, and I had to go get her with a trailer, and that's the first time that car's been on a trailer since we got it. So got that to work on. I got a few other projects, motors, you know, Blanche. I'm thinking I may have to do some upgrades on the jetting on that one. It's acting a little funky. I may do a little video on that, but I got videos to put out of me building that engine in a few days. But yeah, welcome to the back of the yard. 1984 CJ7 Laredo. It's a nice Jeep. There's no rust on that thing. It's got some problems. My 82 Bronco that runs and drives. Just needs some rear brake work. But it's a total toy. It's too far gone to be a, you know, anything other than, I guess you could be a daily. But and then of course the red Jeep of Amber's. That's Ecto. And she needs a few things, and the idea is that red Jeep is going to become this Jeep, because this one's nicer. And I keep telling her I'm going to get to that, but I don't, because we keep bringing on more projects, or I keep bringing on more projects. So anyway, y'all take care of yourself. Please like and subscribe. I got a lot to do this winter on video. This is going to be something new. Matter of fact, it was a year ago yesterday that I did my first video on working on cars, and that was on Facebook. And I'll see if I can't get that. Maybe I'll put that on YouTube. That was before I decided to do the YouTube thing. And Zeppelin talked me into, hey, that was funny, you should do it on YouTube, like Derek at Bicycle Garage. He watched it, he brought me onto it. Another friend of mine said, oh yeah, you need to do that. He already had a hat. I had no idea. I'm pretty sheltered. I don't do a lot. The only time I get out of here is when I was playing music. But I've gained a whole new family with the No Name National stuff. So John and Dallas and Buzz and everybody, thanks for that, because now I can't wait. You know, somebody has a live I can get on. It ain't for subscribers. It ain't for anything. I just enjoy talking to other people like me. I'm just normal Joe at my house. Nobody cares who you are, where you came from. It don't matter. Just love cars. Be kind, generous, help when you can. So that's going to do it for this one. I appreciate y'all watching. Take care of yourself. Peace.